Okay, so today I want to share something that I'm quite ashamed of and something that I promised myself I would never do. And I end up betraying myself in a huge way. And I'm going to explain today what happened, the trap I fell into, particularly three major traps I fell into, how I fixed it, and how you can apply this to your life as well to not only fix your business or fix your where your life is heading, but also to realign yourself as well if you've fallen off the path. So this is about business, this is about relationships, this is about your health, this is about everything. But I want to put this in the context of what happened to me in business. Ever since I was a kid, I dreamt of surfing daily in a tropical location, turquoise waves, basically surfing with no wetsuit, no grey skies like in the UK where I'm from, just board shorts and tropical beaches. And 2 years ago, I actually made it happen. I built a business, a remote lawn mowing business. That's a story for another time. And I moved to Sri Lanka. And to be honest, I was living the dream. I've been dreaming of that for so long. I'd visualized it and I finally made it happen. But then I got greedy. And yeah, I abandoned my dream. I abandoned paradise to get serious about business. And that's when everything just completely collapsed. So today I'm going to share with you the exact 5-step system I used to rebuild my dream life in less than 6 months and how you can do the same. So there I was living in Sri Lanka and literally surfing every morning, working for a few hours, and then I'd surf again. And it was really my idea of heaven. But then I saw other people in my niche making like 50K a month. And I got very, very envious. I got greedy. And I didn't realize it at the time that I was falling into that trap. I just thought I was just trying to stay relevant. I was just trying to keep up with the market. But really, greed had taken over. And I told myself that surfing was the distraction. Something that was such a huge like part of my life. I just was like, no, this is a distraction now. So I stopped going in the mornings, and then eventually I stopped going in the evenings, and then I just stopped going altogether. Then I moved to Colombia, which is a landlocked country, and I literally went there to lock in. What followed was the biggest mistake of my life. I was doing 5:30 starts. I'd work some more. Then I'd go to the gym, maybe if I pulled myself away from my desk. And then I'd work again, and then I'd go to bed. And it was just that on repeat for months. No stints. It was just flat out all the time. I was doing 14-hour days. I had no hobbies, no real life. It was just work. And sure, I did hit some big months. I remember I was hitting around 10K MRR for about 4 months in a row. But I was miserable. I was anxious, and I felt like everything was about to implode anyway because there was no stability. There was nothing else in my life apart from work. So it was like, this is my only thing. This goes, I'm screwed. And yeah, the hustle culture lie that I was telling myself was that sacrifice everything now so that you can live life later. But my life was becoming incredibly shit, incredibly shit. And it was December time, the end of last year. That was when I hit a crisis point. Basically, everything crashed. I lost the money. I lost the girl. I lost 80% of my clients. And I lost faith in myself. The reason why was because I crashed and burned. Like everything crashed and burned because I had crashed and burned. I've been working harder than ever, and here's the irony. I've been working harder than ever, but my life was so bad that my business followed. And yeah, it was a complete mess. Complete mess. I was in the UK, it was cold. At this point, I went back to the UK, it was cold. It was not the tropical beaches that I dreamt of, so I couldn't even be happy in paradise. I was happy in basically the cold winter of the Northern Hemisphere in England. And I just felt so lonely and depressed, to be honest. But lying in bed after that crash, I actually realized that I'd been living someone else's definition of success. And I'd fallen into three major traps. I'd made three major mistakes that cost me everything. The first was that I tied my self-worth to my income. So that's literally like tying your self-worth to the stock market. It's guaranteed mental illness. Like guaranteed. It's up and down at the best of times. Secondly, I was actually scared to rest, which in the long term, this broken mindset leads to burnout and operating at about 60% capacity. So I was barely sleeping, which sometimes that's fine, but consistently, I was just knackered. And it was showing up in my relationships, it was showing up in the quality of my work, everything was just declining. So being scared to rest, just hustling 24/7 was killing me. And then third, and this was the real killer, and this is why I really betrayed myself, lifestyle inflation. Pride took over and I was throwing money around faster than I could bring it in. And I had a choice. I could either rebuild the grind machine in the UK, where I was feeling like crap, or return to a place that made me happy. Surfing every day, good friends, entrepreneurial friends, close friends, community in Asia, in Bali. And in the end, I actually chose happiness over the grind. So I moved back to Bali with my surfboard. In fact, my surfboard was here still. I went and picked it up. But this time I did things a little bit differently. I built my business to serve my life and not the other way around. So instead of working harder, I actually worked less. And instead of creating content nonstop, I created clear goals. Sounds boring, but I'm going to explain to you why that's important in a minute. And instead of starting my morning with tasks, getting out of bed, coffee, work, I started with surfing, praying, mindfulness, stuff that I'd done in the past that actually led to a better business, a healthier business with more revenue. I'd been doing that stuff in the past because my mind was right, my energy levels were good. So I went back to that and actually started doing the things that brought me joy, brought me fulfillment, and brought me peace of mind before, when everything was going well. What happened next actually surprised me. So I saw an instant boost in my energy. I was in a permanent good mood. And the world actually started treating me like it loved me. I felt like it was treating me like it hated me for the last 6 months. But what happened is, because the world was showing me more love, because I was showing myself more love, I was becoming more magnetic. Clients, like this is when things got weird. Clients started seeking me out. Like, I'm talking big clients. I'm talking people who are like, sort of like dream clients with a lot of leverage and further along than I am. They wanted my help and they were coming to me. Bear in mind, I was like not making content. I was working less, so I was harder to reach. So they started seeking me out, and my energy changed everything. So my business, bearing in mind, I lost 80% of my clients. I served clients. I still, my business was still going, but it just wasn't growing. It basically came back to life, like in a big way. But this time, my business was cranking again. But this time, I was surfing 5 to 7 times a week. I was living 5 minutes from the beach. I was working on my own terms. Like, the whole morning, I'd just be out surfing, tanning, feeling good, basically, looking after myself. And lastly, I'm actually happy. That's the crucial difference. So here's the number one thing I realized about this whole thing is that most people put their business goals before their life goals. They put business goals first and they put life goals second. That couldn't be any more backwards. And here's why. Your business should be a servant to your life and not the other way around. I'll say that again. Your business should be a servant to your life and not the other way around. So you really don't have to sacrifice, and you shouldn't sacrifice your dreams to build a successful business. You just need to build your business around your dreams. And I know how that sounds. For some people, even having a business is a dream. Like that's like, oh, I just want to have a business. But trust me, there's levels to the game. Once you get into the game, once you start growing a business and once you start making money, you realize the reason you got in it wasn't for the money. It's nice to have money. It's actually for what the money gets you, which is a better life, more freedom, more control over your time. And what happens is most entrepreneurs fall into the trap of working 80, 90 hours a week in a business that used to fulfill them, but no longer does, just to keep the bills going, just to pay the bills. Like you're back to square one, except for this time, you've got all the stress, you've got all the problems, and you're the one that pays the bill, not just maybe in your home, but you're the one that gets paid last. So if you have a business that's growing, but you're hating it, and you go through bad times, or things are a bit disorganized, or you reach a rough patch, but you get paid last. So if the business is bad, like you're there working harder than anyone, and you get your money out last. Everyone else gets paid if you have employees, or you pay all your subscription or your overheads. And if you have a bad month, it's like you just worked 10 times harder than you would have for a boss with no reward. I mean, that is the reality of a lot of businesses. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if, even if you did have a bad month, you're still excited about your business and you're still excited about your life because you've got other things going on that fulfill you, that make you feel good, that give you self-esteem, that make you feel more confident. It's not all about how much money you're making. It's about the life you're building. That's far more important. Putting your business goals and your money goals before your life is like putting the horse before the cart. You're not living to make money. You're making money so you can live. A lot of people miss that. So the question you might be asking yourself is like, all right, who's this fucking guy sitting in some Bali villa telling me, like selling me a dream, telling me I can build a business around my dreams? And rather than go through all my credentials and whatnot, I'm just going to show you the system that literally saved me. This is the system that I created at the beginning of the year when everything fell off a cliff. It's a 5-step system that realigned me with my goals, realigned me with my purpose, fixed my business, fixed my energy, fixed everything. And it's only, they say necessity is the mother of invention. So I needed to create this. So this is what realigned me, because the real problem wasn't just putting my business before my life. It was actually that I'd fallen out of alignment. I'd fallen completely out of alignment with what I really wanted. I was literally chasing other people's definition of success. And it made me miserable. So what did I do? I went back to the drawing board. Like I said earlier, instead of creating more content, I created new goals. Well, this isn't going to be a goal setting system. It's an alignment system. So it's a system I called future mapping. And this is how I designed my comeback. This is what I'm now giving to all my clients before we even start. I'm like, I need to know what you want and you need to know where you're heading. Otherwise, you're not going to, if you don't know where you're heading, good luck getting there. So future mapping is designing a vision, defining the cost, and living in alignment with your future self now. So it's a lot bigger than just setting goals, because at the end of the day, goals don't really matter. It's about a vision. It's about having a clear vision. Moses said in the Bible, without a vision, the people perish. And to be honest, the people Here is you. So if you want to go and run a successful business, you want to get better with have better relationships, you want to improve your health, you need a vision of what you want that to look like. Otherwise, it's all in vain. Swear to God, there is no point even trying. So here are the 5 steps. Step 1, give yourself permission to dream. Because your biggest prison isn't your circumstances. That's just excuses. The biggest prison is your own mind. So I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. These are 3 questions I ask myself, which essentially deprogrammed my limiting beliefs, the things that were holding me back and my excuses, and encouraged me to think bigger and think about what I really wanted, removing the limitations. So these 3 questions. What would I do if I had $10 million in the bank? Question 2, what would I do if I knew I could not fail? Question 3, what would I do if I was going to die next week? Because most people, they build boring lives because they can't even imagine a life beyond their current limitations. So their life is boring because the limitations in their mind, because they're not allowing themselves to dream, that creates a stagnant, limited environment where they can't actually think outside of that. So even if you are listening now and you're going, I want to think outside my limitations, and those questions sound fine, Dan. It's like at the end of the day, these questions just enable you to imagine. Imagination rules the world, Napoleon Bonaparte. They allow you to imagine the life you want. That's where it starts, in your imagination. And everything started in imagination. Everything started in a person's mind before it became reality. So do the same, use those 3 questions. Step 2, paint the picture. So most people fail because they have no idea what they want. Kind of ties into step 1. But the problem is that this means they're driving in the dark with no headlights. So I want you to be a bit more specific. Now you've started imagining and dreaming up your vision. For example, I want to be successful is completely useless. Instead, I want to wake up at 7 a.m., surf for 2 hours, 4 hours to focus work, and earn 15K a month. That's more of a blueprint. So being a bit more specific with how that day looks like. Thinking about the details a bit more. And we're going to keep developing this, so don't worry, we've got step 3 to go. Step 3, get even more specific. So I heard this from Jim Rohn. Life rewards the specific ask and punishes the vague wish. So I want you to this is what I do, break your new vision down into 3 categories. Category 1, having. So what material things do you want? It's okay to want material things. We live in a physical reality. Well, who knows what reality we live in, but hey, think about material things. What do you want? Next category, being. What abilities do you want to develop? Think being able to speak fluent Spanish. Think being a black belt in jiu-jitsu. Think being able to walk into a room and command respect. It's your vision, not mine, but I'm just giving you some ideas. Next, doing. What actions are you taking daily in this future vision? Think stuff like, I'm surfing 2 hours a day. Think, I'm writing 2 hours a day. Think, whatever, I'm walking down the catwalk at London Fashion Week. Whatever. What are you doing in this future reality that you're building in your mind right now with me? What this does is, these 3 categories and getting more specific, this creates this creates a complete identity shift. So you become the person who lives that life. That's the key. You become a whole new person in the process of this exercise. That's who you're becoming. Most people aren't becoming anyone new. They're so scared of letting go of the old self, they won't let themselves ascend to the next level. They're clinging on. But it's holding you down. It's like dead weight. It's like having weights on your feet while you're trying to swim. You want to swim, you want to get out of the water, you want to fly, undo the shackles, get specific with what you want, and allow yourself to become that new person. Because that's what it's going to take. Fortunately, it's not that hard. You just need to do this. Step 4. This is the part that I usually hate. Step 4, work out the cost. And I know some of you are probably rolling your eyes right now, saying, I'm not a numbers person, I'm not an accountant. But listen, if you don't figure out how much everything's going to cost, you're going to have a hard time realizing it, because things cost more than you think. So I want you to calculate exactly how much your dream life costs. List the monthly expenses, add a 30% buffer. So list all your monthly expenses plus those items from having, being, and doing. Figure out how much it all costs. Literally get out a piece of pen and paper, draw like a grid. Having, doing, being, each item. How much does each item cost? It might be a monthly cost, it might be a one-time cost. Add that all up, then add your living expenses, then times that by 1.3, which is our 30% buffer. And then you want to divide that total number by 30. And that is your daily requirement, basically. So an example would be my Bali surf lifestyle, let's say, costs $350 a day, everything included. And when you know the real number, knowing the real number turns those dreams into business problems to solve. You start thinking, well, how much do I need to save? Or maybe you don't save. How much do I need to earn? What do I need to cut out? What do I need to include? All of these things. It becomes more real because you can actually see, okay, this is realistic. $350 a day might be a lot for some people, but some people's dream might cost $100 a day, three grand a month. So just figure that out. Trust me, it's important. Some of you right now might be, if you're still watching, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds like a lot. Well, what I've done is I've actually put a link down below. It's completely free, no sign up required. It's basically the future mapping AI prompt. You simply put this prompt into ChatGPT or Claude, whichever you like to use, and it will interview you and figure out what those things are that you want and it will design your vision with you, design that dream life with you. And it will give you all of the guidance you need to fill this out. So you might have written this down, great, perfect. Keep those notes handy. Then go to ChatGPT, click on that link below, well, not yet. And it will take you through to the prompt, copy and paste that into ChatGPT. And it will also help you work out the cost. So I've got you covered there. All right, finally, step 5. Think from the end. This is the most important step, and one of the most important things that I've come to learn that the gurus don't tell you about. Instead of thinking of your goals, you want to think from them. So visualize yourself already living that life. Feel the emotions. Make it feel normal to you. And this trains your body emotionally to experience the reality now. The reason that's important is because when you train your body emotionally to feel like you've already got the things you want, naturally your energy changes and you start to attract those things into your life. Some people might not be down for this, but if you're watching this the whole way through, you're vibing with this video, then you're thinking, okay, I'm willing to give that a shot. Some of you are probably already doing it. If you are, good, do it more. This is the key. I've used this visualization technique to literally, like, I'm not going to go into specifics, but like manifest lots of money, business success. even people in my life. This works. And if you're not convinced, just go and look at sportsmen and how they visualize things. Go and look at interviews of Conor McGregor and how he visualized when he was going to knock people out. Or for the more open-minded people, go and read Neville Goddard. Go and read his book. He's like the OG of manifestation. Like, this stuff is not even woo-woo, it's science. And it's so much evidence to support it. But anyway, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to tell you what to do. Just remember that everything you want must be experienced in your mind before it happens in reality. You've got to build future realities in your mind. That's the skill. That's the real work that no one tells you about. All right. Let me be clear. Future mapping only works if you do all 5 steps. You've got to do all 5 steps. It's got the logic, it's got the emotion, and it's got everything you need to manifest and create a dream life. It covers all bases. You have to do all 5 steps because you need the logic side of things, you need the emotional side of things, you need the energetic side of things, you need the dreaming side of things, you need all of it. You need the creativity, you need all of it. So execute those 5 steps. Like I said, there's a link down below that's going to help you with AI. Who would have thought AI is going to help us with all the woo-woo stuff? How cool is that? But most importantly, this is the message for today. People who design their lives deliberately always outperform those who just work hard and hope for the best. Your dreams aren't going to happen by accident. You must design them. So like I said, I've created a free AI prompt that walks you through this entire process step by step. The link is in the description. And literally within 15 minutes, you'll have a clear vision of how your life is going to look in the next 6 months. Then you just go and build it. And you'll find that once you set the intention and once you set the wheels in motion, it just takes a bit of time. It just takes time for time to catch up, for the universe to catch up. So yeah, if this helped you, hit the subscribe button. I share everything I learn about building a life worth living. And yeah, there's also another link. This is what I really want you to do if you like this video. There's a link down below as well. Links galore, links everywhere. To subscribe to my newsletter. That's where I really, this video today stemmed from an idea I shared in my newsletter. So everyone who gets my ideas first, get it with my newsletter. So hit that link below, subscribe if you feel like this vibes with you, if this message resonates with you, and if you want to learn more. And this is a bit cliche, but what's your dream life? What do you want? Do you know the answer to that question? If you do, drop a comment down below, let me know. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.